Hello friends, welcome to e-learning platform of Dr. Bapuji Sawanke Institute of Engineering and Technology's Mechanical Engineering Department. I am Sagar Gadkar and I am going to teach you the subject elements of machine design. In last lecture, we have already started with our second unit, design of joints, levers and offset links, and in this session, we will continue with the same. So in this session, we will be discussing about the knuckle joint, that is our second joint. So this is the knuckle joint. So this is the knuckle joint. So such type of joints are generally used to connect two rods subjected to axial tensile loads. So for such type of joints, they are permissible for some angular misalignments of the rods and may be taken as compressive load if it is guided. So generally a knuckle joint consists of three components: single eye, double eye or fork, and knuckle pin. So eye is formed on one of the rods and fork is formed on the other rods. So this is our first rod which is subjected to the external load P, and this is our second rod again subjected to the same external load P. So this is the single eye is nothing but eye which is formed on the one rod, and this is fork or double eye which is formed on the other rod. Eye fits inside the forks. This eye fits inside this fork, and this pin is passed through both the fork and the eye. This pin is secured in its place by means of a split pin. So this split pin is used to secure this joint. The function of the split pin is to hold the pin in its place and avoid the loosening of the joint due to the vibrations. Okay, so this is the construction of the knuckle joint. So here are some applications of the knuckle joint. So first application is it is used as joint between the tie bars in the roof trusses. It is used in structures in suspension link. It is used for coupling trolleys with tractors. It is used in chains and roller chains. It is used in fulcrum for the levers. And last application is it is used in robotic joints. So there are some advantages of the knuckle joint. First is the knuckle joint can be withstand large tensile loads. The joint is relatively simple to design and manufacture. The joint consists of very few parts which reduces cost and improves the reliability. It is very easy to assemble and dismantle. So this is the geometric figure for the knuckle joint. So this is the section of the knuckle joint. You can say the section of the knuckle joint. So in this section, this is our external load P. So this is our external load P, equal and opposite tensile load. So this D, small d, is nothing but diameter of the rod. D1, here is the D1, diameter of the pin, and from empirical relations, by using empirical relations, D1 is equal to small d. Next is D2. So this is our D2. So D2 is nothing but outer diameter of the eye, and from empirical relations, D2 is equal to 2 times small d. Okay. Next is D3. This is our D3, that is diameter of the pin head, and by using the empirical relations we have value D3 is equal to 1.5 times d. Next is T, small t, that is the thickness of the single eye, and from empirical relations this T is equal to 1.25 times small d. Next is T1. So T1 is thickness of the fork, and T1 is equal to 0.75 times small d, and T2 is equal to thickness of the pin head, and T2 is equal to 0.5 times d. Okay, so due to the external load, due to this external load P, there are some stresses induced in the knuckle joint, which are nothing but sigma T is permissible tensile stress, tau permissible shear stress, and sigma CR, that is permissible crushing stress. Okay, so we will discuss the design of knuckle joint in the next slide. So design of the knuckle joint. First step is failure of rod in tension. So when the single eye or double eye is subjected to the external tensile load, suppose in this case this is our single eye which is subjected to the external tensile load P. So due to this external tensile load, the rod may fail like this. So we have to calculate this red portion, that is the section. So as it is circular part, okay, and this is nothing but the diameter of the rod. So as it is circular section, the area will be, resisting area will be pi by 4 d square. Okay, so the tensile stress is calculated like sigma T is equal to force upon area, that is P upon pi by 4 d square. So from this equation, the diameter of the rod D is determined. Second step is failure of the knuckle pin in shear. So when the load is applied, this pin is under the action of shearing action. So the pin will get failed in this two section. Here is one section, this is another section. So generally this knuckle pin is subjected to the double shear, and the shear stress is calculated by tau is equal to force upon area. As it is subjected to the double shear, again it is a circular section. Okay, so this is our small d, that is the diameter, sorry, d1 diameter of the pin. So as there are two planes of failure, one is here and other one is here, or you can say the failure action is like this. Okay, due to the force. So here is our one type of shear and this is our second type of shear. So this is generally subjected to the double shear, which is calculated by tau is equal to 2 times pi by 4 d1 square. So from this equation, the induced shear stress in the knuckle pin is checked. Okay, as we have given the permissible shear stresses in the problem, from this equation we can calculate the induced shear stress. Next step is failure of single eye or rod end in tension. So here when this single eye or rod is subjected to external load P on both sides. So due to this external load, the single eye may be failed like this. So you have to calculate this shaded area. So here this is the actual section of the member. Okay, so here this is our external diameter, that is d2, and this is our internal diameter d1. So this d2 is nothing but outer diameter of the eye, and d1 is nothing but diameter of the pinhead. So this is the d1. Okay, and this portion is nothing but thickness of the eye. This is nothing but t. Okay, so from this figure we can calculate the resisting area, that is A is equal to, so here you can clearly say that we have to calculate this shaded area. So it is similar to the hollow circular section. So but in this case we have to calculate this in such a way, that is d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. Okay, so tensile stress is calculated as force upon area, that is force P upon area d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. So from this equation the induced tensile stress for single eye is checked. So in problem you have given the induced or permissible tensile stress, and from this equation you have to calculate one tensile stress, and this value of tensile stress should be less than the permissible stress for the safe design. Fourth step is failure of the single eye in shear. So due to the shearing action, this single eye will be failed in this way, that is, again this is the shaded area. So we have to calculate this shaded area. Okay, so for this shaded area I am going to show one figure. So here this is nothing but our diameter d2, and for half portion it is d2 by 2, and for this another portion it is d1 by 2. Okay, so we have to calculate this dimension. So this dimension will be d2 by 2 minus d1 by 2, as it is on the both sides. So this dimension will be double, so multiply by 2. So after solving this you will get d2 minus d1. So this one sided dimension is d2 by d1, that is this dimension is d2 by d1. You will get this dimension as d2 by d1, and as we know this is our thickness t. So this area of the rectangle will be d2 minus d1 multiplied by t, that is this resisting area. So here the shear stress is calculated as tau is equal to force upon area, that is d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. So from this equation the induced shear stress for the single eye is checked with the permissible shear stress which is given in the problem. So next step is failure of the single eye in crushing. So due to the knuckle pin, this portion, this inside portion, okay, this inside portion of the knuckle pin, single eye is subjected to the crushing stress. So when you see from this side, the projected area will be like a rectangle. Okay, so here we have to calculate this area of the rectangle. So we know this dimension is again thickness of the single eye, and the inside diameter is d1. Okay, so as it is a rectangle, the area of the rectangle will be this dimension, that is d1 multiplied by t. So area will be d1 multiplied by t. So crushing stress is calculated by force upon d1 multiplied by t. So from this equation the induced crushing stress in single eye is checked. Next is failure of the double eye in tension. So we have already calculated the failure of the single eye in tension, as here you can see there are two eyes, that is this is first one and this is the second one. So we, for single eye, we have already calculated the resisting area as d2 minus d1 multiplied by t, as the area is doubled, so the equation will be, that is, A is equal to 2 times d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. So here you can see the equation for the tensile stress sigma t is equal to force upon d2 minus d1 multiplied by 2t1, that is 2 multiplied by d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. It is similar to this equation. Okay, so from this equation the induced tensile stress for the double I is checked. Okay, from now onwards you can simply double the values which we have already calculated for the single I. So next is failure of the double I in shear. So for single I, the failure of the single I in shear is calculated as tau is equal to, you can see the equation, previous equation, force upon d2 minus d1 multiplied by t. Okay, so for the double I, as the area get doubled, our equation will be tau is equal to force upon d2 minus d1 multiplied by 2t1. So again from this equation the induced shear stress for the double I is checked. Next, failure of the double I in crushing. So for single I, the crushing stress is calculated like sigma CR is equal to force upon d1 multiplied by t1. So here you can see the area is doubled, that is for this and this our area will be doubled. So the equation will be sigma CR is equal to force upon d1 multiplied by 2t1. So from this equation the induced crushing stress for the double I is checked. So this is the design procedure of knuckle joint. For this session, if you have any queries, you can directly contact on this number. Thank you.